on WRDE Coast TV.
Hunter Biden indicted here in Delaware, the federal form that got him in trouble.
Rip current warnings are in effect on the coast. The best advice so you can stay safe while at the beach.
And we have beach erosion and high surf concerns thanks to the churning of Hurricane Lee out deep in the Atlantic. I'll update you on where we think the waves will be the worst.
Help wanted posted to the window of a Bethany Beach restaurant. Factors business owners say are causing staffing shortages.
From the beaches to the bays, coverage you can count on. WRDE Coast TV News at 6 starts right now.
Hunter Biden indicted by a federal grand jury in Delaware. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. Let's jump straight into the charges that Hunter Biden is facing. We know right now Hunter Biden is indicted on 3 federal gun charges. Special counsel David Weiss is charging President Joe Biden's son in connection with a handgun that he purchased in October of 2018. According to court documents, the first count accuses him of lying on a form when buying the gun in Wilmington. The second count is similar, though the technical language is about a false statement related to information required to be kept by the person selling the gun. And the third count relates to him possessing a gun at a time when he was addicted to drugs, which is illegal. This is a historic indictment against the son of a current president. It comes after a plea deal that fell apart that might have ended this years-long probe into Hunter Biden.
Coast TV News' Mallory Metzner is in the newsroom with a breakdown of the court documents.
Maddie, Charlie, Hunter Biden's indictment was filed today in federal court here in Delaware. These court documents allege that Hunter Biden lied about his drug addiction when he bought a handgun in Delaware almost 5 years ago.
Hunter Biden is accused by a grand jury for the District of Delaware of lying about his crack cocaine addiction when he bought a gun at an unnamed company in Wilmington, Delaware in October 2018. United States Attorney for the District of Delaware, David Weiss, headed the investigation and is overseeing the case. In this indictment, Weiss says Hunter Biden knowingly made a false and fictitious written statement intended and likely to deceive that dealer with respect to a fact material to the lawfulness of the sale of the firearm. This indictment comes after a plea deal fell through in July. The agreement was for Hunter Biden to plead guilty in Delaware federal court to 2 misdemeanor counts of failing to pay his taxes in return for prosecutors recommending a sentence of probation. A separate felony gun charge for illegally owning the handgun would have also been dropped in 2 years if Hunter Biden honored the terms in a diversion agreement. The agreement fell apart during questioning from a federal judge. A historic indictment unfolding in the first state as Delaware's Joe Biden campaigns for re-election.
Also, this indictment comes as House Republicans have launched an impeachment inquiry in an effort to obtain bank statements and other documents from the president and his son. But it's important to note that this particular indictment has nothing to do with Hunter Biden's business dealings. Back to you.
The forms that Hunter Biden is accused of falsifying are the standard paperwork for purchasing a gun. Court documents say that gun was purchased in Wilmington in 2018.
Coast TV News reporter Charles Reinert is live in Lewis at a local gun store. Charles, you have the forms with you right now.
Maddie and Charlie, these here are the forms that Hunter Biden is accused of falsifying. Everyone in the United States needs to fill out these forms right here in order to purchase a firearm. Now, technically, these forms are updated compared to the ones that Hunter Biden signed back in 2018, but they still ask the important question about drug use. If you take a look here at the second page, right here where you see that star, it asks, plain as day, are you an unlawful user of or addicted to marijuana or any depressant, stimulant, narcotic drug, or any other controlled substance? Now, according to court documents, Hunter Biden purchased one of these right here you see on your screen, a Colt Cobra 38 SPL revolver. The forms are run through a federal background system. The owner here at Steele's Gun Shop says if people show any red flags in the form or in their behavior, the gun shop will not sell them a firearm. He did note that if someone did lie on these forms, the shop doesn't have any way of verifying it.
We don't have too many people lie on the forms. I mean, they'll ask us questions. And if we see they're having issues, we'll tell them to leave.
It is important to note that right here at the top of the document, it says that breaking any of the rules of the Gun Control Act can have some pretty severe punishments, such as 15 years of imprisonment or up to a $250,000 fine. Again, we just want to specify this gun was not purchased here at Steele's Gun Shop. I'm Charles Reiner, live in Lewis, Coast TV News.
Thank you, Charles. So what happens now? Well, if convicted, the president's son could theoretically face as much as 25 years in prison and a $750,000 fine, though legal experts say that harsh sentence would be unlikely because Hunter Biden would be a first-time offender. Meanwhile, it's still possible that prosecutors will indict Hunter Biden on income tax-related crimes. According to court filings, the tax case would most likely need to go to trial in California or Washington, D.C., but right now there's no date on when a trial for that can take place. And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, will today's Hunter Biden indictment hurt President Biden's re-election campaign? Let's take a look at some of those results from earlier.
Taking a look at your screen right now, you can see 60% believe this indictment will hurt the Biden re-election. 40% say no, they think maybe it's too far, not related, no impact on the presidential election.
And we've seen this fluctuate a little bit in that range. You can go vote right now, make your voice heard at WRDE.com or use our Coast TV mobile app, and we will show you updated results on Coast TV News at 11.
Severe rip current warnings are in place along the coast for the next few days due to Hurricane Lee. Coast TV News reporter Elisa Weber shows us how Hurricane Lee is changing trips to the beach.
Red rip current warning flags are in place on Rehoboth Beach. Ace Howard, who lives and works in Rehoboth, is worried.
It concerns me for people who aren't as aware of how dangerous rip currents are. I know a lot of people aren't really aware, and so they're not prepared for what could happen if they were to get stuck in a rip current.
Rehoboth Beach Patrol says Hurricane Lee's water conditions are more dangerous than predicted.
It's actually worse than what it looks right now. A lot of the guards went out and tried it out. It's actually very dangerous.
Since it is after Labor Day weekend, the Rehoboth Beach Patrol has fewer guards on duty. Guards are only allowing swimmers in their view to go into the water knee-deep. If you get into danger while in the water, it could take the Coast Guard a while to get to you.
Just with these increases in the storms, it's going to take us a little bit longer to get offshore. Just because of the wave heights this weekend, they're increasing to 10 to 12 feet. Our boats can handle that, but it's going to take us a little bit longer to transit through those waves to certain areas.
There are plenty of other activities to do at the beach that do not include swimming. The Rehoboth Beach Patrol told me that in comparison to the past couple of summers, they have made more rip current rescues this summer. In Rehoboth Beach, I'm Lisa Weber, Coast TV News.
Let's go ahead and take a live look now at the Tunnel and Razor camera. That is our Lewis Yacht Club cam out there. And earlier, when we tossed things to Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams earlier this evening, he said that while it may look calm, some winds out there, Paul.
And it's really the unseen danger that we have to be very mindful of. Not only do we have rip current concerns, but now we have been placed under a high surf advisory, meaning they're watching out for waves up to 12 feet in some cases. So that's in effect for the Lewis Beach, Rehoboth, all the way down from South Bethany to Fenwick Island, but not just there. It also now reaches around in areas like Ocean City, which I think is going to be the targeted area where we're going to see the worst of the waves, not necessarily the worst of the rip currents, a distinction between the two. Chincoteague will also have to deal with this because the high surf advisory stays in effect until 10 o'clock for Saturday. Now, in addition to that, once again, we're looking at beach hazard statements, which is inclusive of not only the rip currents, but also beach erosion for us in Ocean City, as well as the rip current statement that's active along the Sussex County line and along the coast until Friday in the evening time, bracing for the possibility of these currents being able to pull you deeper into the water than you anticipate. That, along with the small craft advisory, 25 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts, it's going to be a dangerous situation over at least the next 24-hour period. Coming up, we're going to take a live look at where the beaches are right now and where we're expecting the worst of these waves according to our latest modeling. Maddie?
Thank you, Paul. Multiple firefighters responded to a home on East Market Street in Georgetown after receiving reports that 2 people were possibly trapped inside the home during a fire. According to the Georgetown Fire Company, firefighters went to the home you see here on your screen. It was around 8:30 this morning. When firefighters got there, the fire company says they were able to remove 2 people from the home safely. Those 2 people, though, were taken to the hospital. The fire department says the condition of the 2 people and the cause of that fire, that's currently unknown. We will keep you updated with any new details on our website, also in later broadcasts.
MDOT is resuming improvements of the Route 50 bridge in Ocean City. Route 50 will be getting work done under the bridge, fixing the drawbridge panels and access hatches. Now, those improvements shouldn't hurt traffic. In January and February, MDOT plans to start working on corroded sidewalks. Now, this work might cause sporadic one-lane closures. MDOT says they do plan to have these closures during non-peak hours, and the town of Ocean City will know ahead of time when these are going to take place. It's also notable that some in Ocean City would like to see the pedestrian and cyclist passageway improved as well.
We come across the bridge. I do have an e-bike. It is very dangerous going across the bridge. My e-bike does weigh a lot of weight. It is a lot of weight, and you have to stop periodically because there's not enough room for people riding bikes and walking.
The work on Route 50 should continue on and off until spring 2025. As we enter the final stretch of summer, you might notice some businesses are shortening their hours or even closing up shop completely for the off season, some by choice and some because they just don't have the staff to run them. Coast TV News reporter Heidi Kirk shows us why this is a trend in the off season.
George Stakius wouldn't normally man the grills or stand behind the counter at his restaurant in Rehoboth Beach. But without a full staff, he has to step in.
We're trying to start the breakfast rush and we're getting busy, and I only have 1 server and 1 guy in the kitchen.
Stakius isn't alone in his staffing shortage. This is what you'll see up and down the coast. Now hiring signs. Stakius says people seem like they just aren't interested.
I'm trying to do 7 days through the end of September, and then I'm gonna have to start shutting down 2 days, like Tuesday and Wednesday or something like that. I gotta figure it out.
The Rehoboth Beach Dewey Beach Chamber of Commerce says it's always been hard to staff businesses in the off season, especially after high school and college students go back to class and J1 international students go back home.
In Bethany Beach, it's the same story. People like Rachel Smith are celebrating reaching the bare minimum at her cafe this year.
Normally it's super hard to find staff that's year-round here because we get a lot of high school and college students, but this year we're very lucky. We have a couple students that are doing online high school, so they're able to come a couple days a week, and then I have some year-rounders.
So what's the good news? Well, if you're looking to get hired, many places are offering competitive pay, bonuses, tips, and more. So if you're looking for a job, it's a good time to get hired. I'm Heidi Kirk in Rehoboth Beach, Coast TV News.
We have a lot more news to get to.
Driving on a worn-out Route 54 bridge in Fenwick Island, you may feel it, your car definitely does, when DelDOT wants to hear from you on how to fix it.
And the wind and waves for the next 24 hours will be a direct result of Hurricane Lee passing by the mid-Atlantic, which you can already see evidence of how the surf is becoming more and more aggressive.
But first, farming from the sky, how a cost-share program is helping farms plant more crops. We're back in just 60 seconds.
All Exteriors offers vinyl siding, stone veneer, and another option you may never have heard of, fiber cement siding.
It's nearly indestructible and energy efficient.
Plus, get leaf-for-leaf gutter guards free or $1,000 off. Call All Exteriors today.
When it comes to building Delaware, I set my sights high.
When duty calls, I answer. No reservations.
And no compromises. Creating the perfect dish takes expert precision.
I help solve the most complex problems.
And while it may seem like our jobs are all over the map,
they all started at Del Tech.
Our training and roofing qualifies All Exteriors to give the best warranty. 50-year material and 25-year workmanship.
Plus, get leaf-for-leaf gutter guards free or $1,000 off, or payments as low as $99 a month. Call All Exteriors for your free quote today.
Farmers giving 2 green thumbs up to the Sussex Conservation District's recently approved funding for a cost-share cover crop program.
That means up to $75,000 for farmers to plant cover crops to protect their soil in the off-season. WRDE Coast TV News reporter Tori Seagraves shows us how programs like these help local farmers and the environment in the long run.
You might think this little yellow plane is spraying the crops below, but it's actually seeding the ground with cover crops through a device like this one. Brian Tull and his family own this farm where corn, soybean, and wheat grow. He says having this done during their harvest right now is a big help.
We're very busy trying to get the crops out. Weather can play, havoc on trying to do that. So any help we can get, especially from the guys in the air, they can get in, apply, and it's very effective.
Farmers like Tull wouldn't be able to utilize cover crops if it wasn't for the cover crop assistance from the Sussex Conservation District. The district says that this assistance comes as cover crops prove to be a more eco-friendly option for protecting farmers' fields. Cover crops help prevent erosion, provide nutrients to the soil in the winter, and create ground cover during storms to maintain the integrity of the soil. Corman spraying seed cover crops by plane to give farmers a more cost-effective option outside of the district's help.
We also have gone into adding a mix of cover crops into our farm fields, and that's because it allows for farmers to have less input cost in the future. For example, we put clover in our cover crop fields, and that gives nitrogen back to the soil naturally, so that already is in this root bed for when we plant our cash crop for the next year.
For Tull, this process is a real win-win.
It does good for the environment, but it also does good for our bottom line too.
If you are planning on applying to the cost share program, it's important to remember that those cover crop acres cannot be covered in manure until March 1st of 2024. I'm Tori Seagraves in Greenwood, Coast TV News.
Even without a direct hit, Hurricane Lee is still making a significant impact on our coast with higher waves, winds, and beach erosion. I'll show you what I'm tracking in a moment.
Now at Hardee's, 2 hand-breaded chicken tender wraps are only $5. Choose one of 5 flavors for endless combinations, including new Nashville Hot. 2 wraps, just $5. Hardee's, goodness in the making. Get exclusive offers on the Hardee's app.
Rural communities are on the front lines of a changing climate. Farmers can implement climate-smart practices that improve soil health, nutrient management, and energy efficiency. These practices improve our profitability, resiliency, and help to open new markets.
We know voluntary conservation works and are committed to working with farmers and forest landowners to leverage resources to increase climate resiliency through conservation practices. To learn more about climate-smart practices, scan this QR code to find your local USDA service center.
With Food Lion Feeds, I get to give back in ways I never imagined.
What are you doing? I'm picking tomatoes.
From growing fresh produce for our neighbors in need, to remodeling local pantries so we can help even more people. But my favorite thing is delivering hot meals to make Miss Baker's day.
What's your favorite? That looks delicious.
Here to fill tables and hearts with hope. Food Lion Feeds, here for every moment.
It's Ocean Down's $25,000 cash splash sweepstakes. Earn scratch-off cards to win prizes. Plus, swipe on September 29th to activate your entries for a chance at a special delivery of $25,000 cash. Ocean Downs Casino, where the fun shines.
You sunk your teeth into me, blood sucker.
1025 WBOC.
Make dinner good tonight with Hardee's new chicken tender platters. Crunchy, juicy tenders all dipped in buttermilk and hand-breaded. With a thick slice of garlicky Texas toast, seasoned crinkle fries, slaw, and choice of sauce. Hardee's, goodness in the making.
Welcome to the Pella Experience Center, featuring windows and doors rated #1 by homeowners for quality, value, and innovation. Our products showcase styles from traditional to contemporary and everything in between. We work with you from design through installation, and with special financing options, anyone can be a proud Pella owner. Visit our Experience Center or call us today to schedule your free consultation where we bring the showroom to you.
Watch for the IG Burton First Alert Weather Jeep.
For your own safety and the safety of your family, I want to strongly encourage you to scan the QR code in the corner of the screen here, because it's going to help you stay up to date on the latest warnings as it pertains to beach conditions. And let me show you why I'm so serious about this. These are the waves right now, and this is before Lee really gets parallel to our immediate area. These waves are so aggressive. That's a person, and these waves are taller than the people as they're being chased off of the shore. So keep in mind, it's going to be cooler and drier, but we're tracking Lee in the Atlantic, but the weekend's not looking so bad after we get past the problem with the winds. Let's point to Lee first, because that's where the problem stems from. It's going to be a Category 1, and even though we're still expecting the path to stay nearly 400 miles away from us and to parallel us by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we're still feeling residual effects of it that have prompted high surf advisories. This is what that means. First of all, the area that's covered, all of Sussex County. This means we're watching out for waves possibly as high as 12 feet. But it's not Sussex where I'm most concerned. I'm most concerned right in this area, Ocean Pines, Ocean City, but this concern or this advisory reaches all the way down towards Chincoteague. In addition to that, we have the small craft advisory bracing for 30 to 35 mile per hour winds. Now let's talk winds. It's an invisible danger of sorts because the winds are coming out of the north and the northeast. As we go into Friday, right around lunchtime, this is when I think things are going to kick up and become very dangerous. 29 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts, and that's going to hang out for Friday. Now, when that happens, it's going to push the water, okay? And that's going to give us that chance for, if you take a look at our legend here, 8 to 12 feet of water, but mainly from Ocean Pines down towards Chincoteague. This is where I think it's going to be the worst. Now, we also are monitoring what we're expecting along the Sussex line, and so we're looking for at least 4 to 8 feet by Friday night along from Lewis down towards Fenwick Island. So that's dangerous in and of itself, but it's even more dangerous mainly to our south. Why? Well, here's why. 10 o'clock, we're looking for this storm to move parallel and target Halifax, but because it's so wide and so strong, it's going to still have that residual effect on us, even without a direct hit. Shows you just how powerful these storms can be. Finally, here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling extended forecast. After we get past the messiness of the waves and winds on Friday, we're going to cool down and calm down on Saturday, and we'll stay quiet all of next week.
Thank you, Paul. The Fenwick Island Planning Commission is hosting a hybrid public session. If you have any questions on the Route 54 bridge replacement project, that bridge is located on Lighthouse Road. According to DelDOT, the bridge is in poor condition due to its age. It needs some improvement. And the proposed work, that includes providing wider sidewalks for bicyclists and pedestrians and putting lighting along the sidewalks. The town will host a virtual and public session at the town hall on September 21st at 9 a.m. But DelDOT says it is accepting public comment for improvement ideas all the way until September 22nd.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Another Delmarva shorebird has made his way to the majors. Heston Kjerstad was called up by the Baltimore Orioles. Kjerstad's career started with many question marks. The number 2 overall pick in the 2020 draft out of Arkansas wasn't able to make his debut on Delmarva until 2022 because of injuries. When he finally got the chance to play, he didn't miss his opportunity. The corner outfielder and first baseman hit .463 with 37 hits and 19 RBIs in 22 games with the Shorebirds before he was called up to the next level. In less than 2 full seasons since kicking off his career on Delmarva, he'll wear a Baltimore Orioles uniform. His first appearance with the O's will mark his major league debut and will also make him the 122nd player in Shorebirds history to play in the majors, and only the second one to do it after playing on Delmarva in the 2020s decade. He's coming up as insurance after first baseman Ryan Mountcastle suffered a shoulder injury and is day-to-day. Kjerstad played 38 games this season at first base between AA and AAA ball, so he's got the experience. The Orioles have 17 regular season games remaining before it's playoff time. That'll do it for sports.
Get ready for the all-new, redesigned 2024 Subaru Crosstrek. The 2024 Crosstrek is safer than ever for even more peace of mind on every drive. With a Subaru Crosstrek, you can count on plenty of adventures ahead. And when you choose Gateway Subaru, you're supporting local schools through Subaru Loves Learning, which helps kids get the school supplies they need. We're more than just a car company. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Delmarva's rock station for 35 years.
Johnny Janosic has so much more in store. Inventory has gone up, so our prices have come down. Get up to 50% savings store-wide, plus 0% APR for 2 years through Monday, only at Johnny Janosic.
Tomorrow at 4 on Coast Life, relate to those universal mom moments. Feast your eyes and your taste buds on the Tide Rooms at a shore resort. And the TikTok trend that's popping off, rainbow popcorn on the Cobb tomorrow at 4 on Coast TV.
Live your best life with Luxury Motors. Discover your perfect ride with our ever-changing inventory of carefully curated luxury pre-owned vehicles. High quality, low mileage, luxury. With full confidence that you're getting the best value. Luxury Motors of Rehoboth Beach on the Forgotten Mile by the Bridge. On-site financing available. And if you're looking to sell your luxury vehicle, stop by and we'll make you an offer. Luxury Motors of Rehoboth Beach.
Johnny Janosic World of Outdoor Furniture has Delaware's largest selection of outdoor furniture and sunbrella fabrics, plus everyday low prices and immediate delivery at all Johnny Janosic furniture and mattresses.
Cap off the season with the 4 best days of fall at Sunfest. Experience the ultimate celebration of food, drinks, arts, crafts, and entertainment along the boards from October 19th to the 22nd. Embrace fall with a variety of fun activities, including beach bonfires, corn maze, tractor rides, and pet and bicycle events. Shop around over 200 arts and crafts vendors. Immerse yourself in music with an incredible lineup of free musical performances. Enjoy free family fun all day. Visit oceocean.com/sunfest for more.
WRDE First Alert Weather, brought to you by Ocean City, Maryland.
Quickly want to remind you, we also have the rip current statement that's active along with the high surf concerns along the coast, along with beach hazard statements, watching out for erosion as well. So let's be very mindful over the next 12 to 24 hours. Here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. We're expecting for it to stay very clear for an extended period of time after we get past the effects of Hurricane Lee.
Paul, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The NBC Nightly News is up next.
And we're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.